Right, well, voice attack isn't playing ball at the moment. I'm just going to give it a little further try. Bear with me, if anyone's there, bear with me a moment. No, it's still not playing games. Oh, it might start by itself later, I'll see, but apart from that, everything's going to be button pushes again. comms check.
Right, yep, intercom check.
Okay, did you get mine or did you not hear mine and just initiated your own?
No, that was in response to yours.
Okay, that's good. Alright, that's actually not blasting my ears out either. It's not blasting my ears out. I've just upped my volume a little bit on voice meter, so we'll see what it's like now.
You didn't hear anything, did you? Because I clicked away.
Okay, now it's gone loud again because I've brought my voice attack up.
I was saying that for me, when you speak, voice meter is at 0 decibel on the slider, and my VU meter is completely in the red, and I have to tweak down in OBS the voice audio channel to -30 in order for it to be palatable for people listening.
Okay, well on voice attack I've got my slider at -13.
I think maybe you're off game.
No, it's because I was on the ammo screen. Yeah, I've got my slider on voice attack at -13.
Boston.
Bring it up to -5, then you get loud.
Yeah.
Okay, well we're used to that I think now, so get right, sorry my key got stuck on. I'll get some ammo. Not ammo, fuel.
Okay, yeah, okay, whilst you're doing that, I'll start doing some minor startup stuff like power and basics. There's also, I did a test run before I pushed the update onto the server, and I experimented with, there's a control just between us. The fuel transfer valve open closed, and I think by default it's closed, but I think what that allows is you draw from a single tank, but the cross transfer valve means that it draws away from the disposal tanks first, possibly.
Well, I know on the gauges it says use your wing tanks first, but I thought that was simply an on-off switch. Like you're talking about the silver one, I thought that was just fuel on or fuel off, and the other one is fuel tank select, or the other two are fuel tank select. That's what I thought. Having said that, because I interrupted myself because I was on the wrong screen, I didn't complete fuel load, so I'm going to go back now. So I'll be off mic for a minute while I'm doing fuel load.
Okay, you might have been off mic for considerably longer than you realised. But you said, having said all that, but you didn't appear to have said anything. But we'll let you come sort the screen out first and come back to that.
Sort the screen out.
Yeah, you were saying you were going to put fuel on.
Oh yeah, I have to. Yeah, because I'd fuel the fuel window open. I was trying to speak to you and couldn't, and forgot that you weren't getting it. And then I was on the other screen, and I think my key locked on. So I'm now going to go and get some fuel anyway. So I'll lose talk. I'll lose comms while I get fuel.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Copy.
Run the starter.
Copy. Refueling complete.
Okay, we've got a bit of an issue in as much as certainly on the port engine, the booster isn't kicking the engine over. I'm going to try the other one, see if it makes any difference.
Rearming complete.
Okay, so the starboard engine started okay. I'll try again on the port engine, but I'm not doing anything different. Okay, I don't know what the issue was, but we're running.
I was just trying to read up a little bit on the fuel system to see if my assertion was correct. I don't know if you heard any of it earlier on. It's really difficult for me to actually see fuel gauge as well, which makes it even harder to try and relate what I'm saying to numbers. Because Tracker R won't let me move my head to a position where I can see them.
Yeah, I get that.
And then when I can see them, I'm looking over the top of my glasses and I can't see the screen.
Yeah, I get a similar thing when I'm trying to let people see what I'm doing with the pedals whilst also looking where I'm going.
Right, I managed to lock it in place. Right, so we've got the fuel center tank, the fuel inner tanks, the fuel center, and the jettison tanks.
Hang on a minute. Let me zoom in. When you say center tank, you've got main supply.
I'm reading purely from the gauge titles. So you got three fuel gauges, 3 sets of fuel gauges. One that is labelled up fuel cont inner tanks, fuel cont center tank, and then the jettison tank, which is the one that number 4 wing tank.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about the levers or the switches that switch the tanks, but I didn't realise you were talking about the gauges. Okay.
Right. So when we've been flying before, the jets seem to be getting drawn from directly first, because we were finding that when we got to 0, the engine was sputtering. We had to switch the tanks over to the inner tanks, and the selection. If I just spin my head back around. So we've got the outer tanks and main supply as the fuel cock selections. Now what I was wondering, and we also have another, which is right behind your seat, called the fuel transfer valve. And what I was wondering is if we set the fuel cocks to main supply, but then also open the transfer valve, whether or not that would cause all the fuel to be drawn through the same system without specifically going to the outer tanks first, therefore evading that slightly tenacious part where we've got no fuel and we're needing to switch it over.
Okay, well I've just set it to main supply on both of those selectors, so I'm now going to open, I guess, the transfer valve.
I think I've already opened it. I've done that already. Okay. What I was looking at was the fuel diagram in the Chuck's guide.
Okay. Actually, there's a couple of buttons down there. Hold on.
Yes, to do with oil dilution, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, as far as I can tell, if you had already done the transfer switch, that is now open, and we are both selectors are on main supply. The fuel cocks are on main supply, and the other one, which is fuel tank pressure on off, is in the up position.
Yeah, that's right. I put it on. I did the fuel tank pressurization. Hey Nils, how you doing? Yes. So what I was looking at, so I've just found where the fuel transfer control handle is listed, and its description is horizontal position. Fuel transfer valve is open. Fuel pumps transfer fuel. Fuel pumps transfer fuel from the under wing tanks to the outer wing tanks.
They transfer from the wing tank to the from the outer wing tank to the main tank. So say that again.
No, so the fuel pumps transfer fuel from the under wing tank, jettison tank, to the outer wing tanks, which is a little bit of a confusing phrase, because the wings have 2 sets of tanks, inner tanks and outer tanks, and the outer tanks are still inside the wing. They're just the outermost pair of tanks.
Yeah, got that. Okay.
So the fuel transfer valve pumps fuel from the under wing tanks to the outer wing tanks. The
from
main
the
supply,
jettison tank to the wing tank.
yeah, and the main supply draws from the inner and center tanks. Oh, hang on, no, so they are separate. Okay, so the outer tanks are where you place the Okay, so the fuel system is not interconnected. They're distinct supplies. There's no cross feed between the tanks.
Only
That's
from
just
the
odd.
jettison tank to the outer wing tank.
Yeah, so we do need to go to the outer tanks first.
Right, so we're now on the outer tanks. And the what's it? Have you just taken off the transfer? I'm struggling to look at that one myself.
Yeah, that's right. I can reach that one probably a lot easier than yourself. Yeah. So what it was saying was, I saw a note. Hang on a sec. Okay, so we go from the outer tanks first. Now, but when we used the drop tanks before, I don't think we actually made use of them at all. I think we dropped them when they were full. Because we were drawing from the number for the outer tanks first. No, hang on a second. Where's the outer tanks?
Oh, I
Fuel
think we were using
center.
the jettison
Fuel,
tanks. The jettison tanks were dropping in content as we flew, and I noticed that they were pretty much empty when we started to splutter. That's when I changed onto main tank.
Right, no, hang on. So there are 3 sets of fuel tank in a Mosquito.
Yeah, two inner, 2 outer, and 2 jettison.
No, well, no, that's not including the jettison tanks. If you discount the jettison tanks completely, you've got the outer tanks, which are internal to the wing, and you've got 2 of those on each wing, or in each wing. You've got the inner main supply tank, which is close to the fuselage, and then you've also got the center tank, which exists inside the fuselage. The drop tanks are separate.
How does that relate to the switches? Because I'm not seeing those terms. I'm seeing main supply and outer tanks.
Yeah. So the main supply is a combination of the inner and center tanks. So if you look over on the gauges, the left and center gauges are the main supply. The rightmost gauge represents the 2 outer tanks that exist inside the wings. When they are empty, then we can throw the fuel transfer and it will draw from the drop tanks into the outer tanks.
Hang on, I'm a bit confused because it refers to that right-hand gauge refers to jettison tanks.
Look at the underside. There's this label underneath it. The jettison tank mention is square. That label is square. The one that is underneath is rounded. And I think the rounded ones are titles, the square ones are notes.
Oh, okay. So, alright, so, yeah, alright, I get it. So, the oddity, though, is that they don't represent the values that we took on board, because I took on 2... Oh no, that's outer tanks. Hang on, so where do you get the reading for your jettison tanks, then?
I have no idea. I just think you assume that they are full, and that when you need to use it, that it cross-feeds into the outer tanks, and then you see how much you've got.
When the crossfeed is turned on, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What I don't know is, so you look at the fuel tank's inner. You've got 2 gauges there, and it's both at 100% or 150 gallons. You then got the center gauge, which is the center tanks, which are the ones that exist inside the fuselage. There are 2 gauges there, but only one of them reads a non-zero value.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means it's broken. There are 2 tanks. There are 2 center tanks. But I don't know why that reads 0 for what, for all intents and purposes, the right tank.
There are also different capacities as well, because one's 55 and the other one's 60 or 53, and the other one.
I can't see the last number on that gauge.
Yeah, on the left-hand gauge of those centre gauges, the left-hand gauge is a maximum of 53, and the right-hand gauge is a maximum of 63.
So with that not entirely cleared up, I think we're ready to start a game.
Yep. Okay. So we are set currently. The fuel cops are currently set to outer tanks. We want that, yeah.
Yes, outer tank and the cross feed to be off. When the outer tanks get low, then I'll throw the cross feed and that'll draw from the jet tanks.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it's the other way round. I thought you started off using the drop tanks, but never mind. Okay.
No, that square note above the number 4 wing tank gauge says transfer fuel only when outer wing tanks are empty.
Yeah.
So we need to let these gauges go to 0, then throw the transfer valve, and then watch the gauges fill up again.
Okay, yeah, and that's making sense because, as you said, that square or the rectangular thing is a note, not a title, and I was reading it as those gauges being for the jettison tanks, and I was thinking that the outer tanks, or I was treating the outer tanks as thinking of them as jettison tanks, which of course they're not. Okay, I think that has clarified it a bit.
Okay, and I have just found out what the second center gauge is, the one that's at 0. The center gauge pair on the right is the long range tank if fitted.
Oh, okay, so that there would be that's not listed for us. I don't think we can get it. When I go to reload, rearm, whatever, I've got 2 options for additional fuel tanks, and one of them is 2 50s and the other one is 2 100 gallons. Okay, at least we know what it's for, even if I don't know how to at the moment get that additional long range tank on, so not too worried about that. I think we're ready to taxi or what?
We get to start a game and find the signal, yeah?
Yeah, what do you want me to hold while you find signal?
Just while we do the initial direction find.
Okay, holding.
Hi! I can't come to the phone right now because I'm playing hide and seek. Ask around for my frequency or check your messages. If you'd like to, leave a message after the beep.
That's interesting. There's already a game running. I wonder who started that.
Oh, when you said game, I thought you meant like us get going, but you mean the game of hide and seek. Hide and seek.
Yeah, yeah, but someone's already started it, so we'll see what's going on.
Okay.
No,
57. These number stations are very boring. Oh, bingo! Once more, 57, 23, 9, 57. These very boring. Legs 11. Oh, bingo! Once for 57, 23, 9. These number stations are very boring. Legs 11. Oh, bingo! Once 23, 9, 57. These number stations are very boring. Legs 11.
okay, so I've got a relative bearing of 84 degrees.
Relative to our current direction.
Yeah,
We are facing roughly north, so we're talking about 84 degrees on the compass.
okay, that's for me.
These number stations are very boring.
Okay, want a taxi?
Yep, sure. Now, I did a run with Undead and we were experimenting with different things last week. And we found that although it tends to be all over the place, or feels like it's all over, it can be easier to keep the gauge on high deflection rather than low deflection. So it'll be far more sensitive when you get off the center line. So you just need to keep an eye on it a little bit. But for the most part, it'll be alright.
Copy that.
Because it generally tends to be more accurate. There's less chance of you drifting off course.
Yep. You know if there's any threats at roughly 84 from the runway?
84 degrees, that's going to take us out past the Nasty Bridge and the units at the end of the runway, so I would say go... maybe 60 degrees. Go out past the bridge and out past the BTRs that are up to the northeast very slightly. So that 60 degrees should sort of drive us straight between the middle of them.
Copy that. Okay, will you keep me posted on which way I need to go?
I suppose I could look at the map now. because there's no marker on the map. I've taken that off, so
Right.
we really do not know where Dave is other than radio signal. I'm hoping that my detection range increase should be enough if he spawns inside trees. So we should, if we keep to like the treetops when we've got an angle on where he actually is. If there's trees around, then just stick to the treetops, and hopefully we should get caught by the bubble.
Okay, if you're ready to go, hang on, just final checks. Flaps are good. Trims are good. Okay, if you're ready, I'll commence takeoff.
Yep, go for it.
Oh, my gears just failed, I think. Or we just got hit.
The bomb did just go off next to us. If you can roll, then we might be alright. You've not lost, but you got a flat tyre on the right side.
Yeah, that's what I've got out to look at. We've got damage to the starboard engine and various other damage as well. So that would be a bit risky. We could lose fuel. In fact, the starboard gear leg is bent backwards as well.
Right.
So we're going to have to repair. I'll move forward enough to repair or respawn. I guess I'll move forward, try and play the game. I'll move forward to beyond the threshold and see about repair.
Okay.
Provided the gear leg doesn't let us down before we get there. Okay, hopefully that's far enough. I'll request repair.
Okay.
Request repair.
Oh, I haven't got my window open. Darn it.
Request repair.
Unable to comply.
Oh, I've got to shut the engines down, of course, haven't I? Idiot.
Yeah, that's the downside. I still don't know how to change that. Well, you can't change it, but...
No, I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, if I was in ground crew, I wouldn't want to work on an engine that's still running.
No, not the shutting down the engine requirement, the 3 minutes for them to even start looking at your aircraft.
Oh, no, I don't mind that either, because even that's unrealistically fast, isn't it? So.
Yeah, in a true sim environment maybe, but when you're just trying to do stuff for people to enjoy, it's a little bit, just slows it down. I don't mind lightweighting 30 seconds to a minute, but 3 minutes just seems a little bit over the top.
Copy.
Okay, well, they've copied that. We're going to get repaired. Yeah, there's various...
Now, it's possible we might get beaten to the target because Undead is in the air already.
Oh, okay. Well, he can let us know if he gets the fireworks then, can't he?
Yeah, and in theory he should. In theory he should, because I did a test say this evening, and I think that they might have been firing the last time that we, because when we did it last week, did we get the voice line where he said you found me?
I don't think so. I don't remember him saying that.
Okay, so what that might have been a case of was we weren't low enough to get inside the detection bubble. If we had done that, then I think that would have been a successful run that we did. But we had to get like really low, as if it's a CSAR type pickup. I've adjusted that hopefully now to cater for that.
Okay, well, I did get really low because I actually watched some of that earlier on. And as I said to you, that must have scared the living daylights out of him, because we did pass over him pretty low. To pass over any lower, I would definitely be pushing it.
Yeah, I think because it was configured in the realms of CSAR code. It came from the CSAR code, right? That piece of detection. So the radiuses would have been pretty tight, because you'd have been going with a lot more control and slower in the helicopter. So being very low and close to Dave would have been fair. With the planes though, your speed is higher. You got less control over your forward momentum. So I've just increased, I think, the radius of the bubble, so we're more likely to get picked up easier.
Oh, okay. Well, it's only 30 seconds now before repair, so that's all right. That enabled us to also consider a couple of things as we spoke there. Yeah, that starboard engine is quite beaten up. I think we're right not to go. Probably the gear wouldn't have retracted either because it's bent. Okay, we're on the ramps. Okay, I'll go through start up again.
Run the starter. Copy.
Okay, flaps are good, trim is unaffected. I think, apart from closing the door. I think we're good to go again. I'll close the window. Okay, commencing run. Okay, could you put the flaps up for me?
Flaps coming up. I'd actually say maybe use 70 as a bearing.
Yeah, we just took some hits.
It's only on the tail, don't worry about it, that's fine.
Okay, good.
Check RPM.
Thank you.
What I've also started doing, I don't know if it makes any difference at this altitude, is switching from rich to lean.
I would have thought that would only be at high altitude, but I don't know.
Right.
It'd be the other way round, I don't know.
I would have thought it would be rich under engine start conditions and low oxygen.
I'm just thinking that the higher the altitude, the rarer is the air. Yeah, so the rarer is the air, so therefore the petrol to air mixture would be too much. Fuel to air mixture would be too much, so you have to make it lean. I reckon you make it lean when you're high.
Right, okay. We can start using the direction finder gauge now.
Copy that.
So it will be quite twitchy, but you can pretty much go with the fact that when it's on the centre line, you're reasonably straight towards the target.
Yeah, copy that. It is moving. That's a good thing.
Yeah, well, when it's on the high deflection, the second you drift off of that centre line, then it starts deflecting strongly. When it's on low deflection, if you're reasonably confident on your heading, then you don't need it flapping around all the time, because you just want to go in one direction.
Yeah, it's good to see it moving with the aircraft direction. So what I did is when it was in the middle, I just found a cloud that was in the right direction. I'm aiming at that.
Right, yeah.
Do we know range to target? I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be between 30 and 80 nautical miles. But I think Undead is quite ahead of us. He's about 3 times the distance away from the airfield than we are. So he's probably going to find Dave first. But we did a test last week of do one and then go straight into another, bearing in mind we had the tanks. And we were able to fly from one side of the circle to the other and still have spare fuel. So when he undoubtedly locates Dave, unless there's an issue with trees and altitude, we should be able to kick off another one straight away and we can just redirect.
Yep, that's all good. with these
So who knows?
with the directional needles, it does make sense to use the rudder sort of slightly change direction.
Yeah.
Whereas normally what they say is once you're airborne you can probably take your feet off the rudder pedals.
Right, okay.
Number 3 was here earlier on, and I was telling him about these missions that we're doing with the mosquitoes and Dave, and he was quite impressed with that. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's going so far. I need to make some changes because at the moment we're the only ones that can do it. It's because the frequency that we're using only the mosquito can address. So if you want to do CSAR in the Huey using the similar technology, it needs to be a different frequency. If you're in any of the Russian helicopters, they have hard-coded emergency frequencies that I can't change, so I have to adhere to those frequencies. If I want to do it in the A10, that's another frequency range because of the radios that are involved. So it's crazy the amount of lanes that I've got to cater for. But hopefully, as I get more time, I've spent a load of time this week making a change to the hide and seek code that allows a structure to have multiple games running concurrently on different frequencies. So it would be like us in a Mosquito and someone else in an A10, and they'll be going after a different Dave, although obviously the same Dave, just in two places at once. And then they can run independently of each other. But because I didn't want to lock anyone out of being able to take part, so I've got to cater for everyone.
Yeah, that sounds good. A lot of work, by the sounds of it, and what you've done so far is brilliant. So Yeah, as long as you're enjoying doing it, that's also an important factor.
And of course, didn't get any of that because I was on a different screen, so it didn't come through. I was saying that it's about 4,000. The code file itself is 4,000 lines long, and you could say maybe a third of that, or a quarter of that was double line, so about 3,000 lines of code.
Jeez. That's just for this facility.
No, that's the entire mission code, so that covers off all the CSAR stuff, troop placement, like the enemies that spawned where Dave has been sat.
Yeah. So lessons we learned from taking off earlier on is because we got hit, rather than coming directly to target, maybe, I mean, we're currently at nearly 9,000 feet, so maybe the answer is get suitable altitude before we get in possible range of enemy units.
Yeah, we probably don't want to be this high though.
How far have we got to go? I figured we had a way.
No, this height. We don't want to be at this altitude.
Well, I've climbed at this altitude intentionally, but you're saying that we might be getting close.
Well, there isn't any ground units out this far for a start, so we're kind of clear. That's why the only ones that are out this far would be Sam's, and we would certainly want to be very terrain hugging to get past those.
Okay. I'll drop down.
Is your hip radio on? The red, the one by your...
Phone radio's not on, but I'll put it on now. It's on.
Okay. It just gives Undead the opportunity to communicate with us if needed.
Yeah, copy that. Undead, do you copy?
Check. Full deflection on the needles, it's behind us.
Oh, wasn't watching that, so I was looking at the radio.
Oh, unless the signal stopped. Did Undead find him? Hang on.
Ah, that would be it, wouldn't it? So I'm not seeing Undead in this vicinity.
I'm not seeing a message.
Not seeing Undead anywhere. I'll fly a circle and see if the needles do anything. I suspect they won't. I wonder if our radio's finally picked up.
No, it's not the radio. It's, I think Undead did manage to find him.
Okay, well that's good. Did he get the fireworks?
Don't know. He crashed in the process.
Oh right.
But I don't understand why it's so far away. There should be like a 70 feet radius around Dave where it would capture.
Okay, well we've lost signal at the
unless the
moment.
server, yeah, unless the server has got an issue. That's interesting. I haven't got radio menu.
I haven't got radio menu.
No, I can't trigger my radio menu. Have you got your comms menu?
Stand by. No. No, I've got no comms menu.
Alright, let me just check a mapping before... I reckon if we head back towards Mosdock.
Yeah, doing that already. On our way back to Mosdock now.
Okay, and I'll just check my mappings because
as we get closer to Mosdock, there's going to be more chance of us running into enemy ground units, so I might pick up a bit of altitude, not a hefty lot, but a bit before then. There he is. Nice one, Niels. Nice one. Very nice. Into the port, Laxall.
what am I looking at?
Well, you might not be able to see because your radio's in the way, but Niels is off the port. Nice and close.
Oh yeah, I see him, I got him.
It's really nice.
50% on the outer tanks as well.
Yep. Yep. That's really nice. Lovely escort there, Niels. Thank you. Raptor, what do you want to do? Land, repair, do the same again, or what?
If we can get the radio main to work, we might be able to launch another one. I don't know. It's a little bit odd that the radio, I can't open the comms menu. I was expecting to, but I can't. I did find that my radio button in this module was not mapped to the correct one. So when you have just the comms mapping set, that works for the ground but doesn't work in the air. When you have easy comms turned off. I know they're saying 3546.
Say again?
Sorry, bear with me.
Oh, that's beautiful news. We gotta chase doodlebugs like that. Get your wing underneath. Let's go. Nils is having a wonderful time. Must be below us. There it is. Some 109s in front of us, I wonder if it's worth having a go. Yeah, cheers Niels.
They're passive 109.
Yeah. might divert fractionally just to see about having a little go at them. That was a joint effort between Niels and us. Now resuming RTV, we've got Viz on the airfield. Outer tank is getting low.
Yep.
Gauges are bouncing a bit.
That's nothing.
Imagine the bouncing is because the gauges will be sitting, there'll be floats, well, close one there. There'll be floats sitting on the fuel, I guess. And as it gets lower, the fuel sloshes about more, so the gauges are going to jump about, I guess.
Yeah, I could try throwing the levers, see if they go back up again.
Yeah, give it a shot whilst we can.
Okay, throwing it.
Difficult to say at the moment, give it a minute.
They seem like they're bouncing higher on the gauge.
Yeah, they're more regularly close to 10 now. Got a fast transfer, I suppose.
Oh yeah. But you knocked it off. We can't help it if the Mosquito is built better than the F-18.
Oh, what happened?
He knocked his elevator off.
What on that very, very close pass?
Apparently.
Didn't even feel it. I reckon he might have broken it due to stress on the. Oh, and it's credited us for the kill. That's not fair.
Really? Where's it saying that?
It came up as on the screen. It showed as the Hornet as destroyed in red, which means that we destroyed it. In fact, Neil's destroyed it by ramming us, it seems. Well, I don't know. I think probably damaged himself.
But they don't get much fuel, it seems, in those tanks unless something went wrong with them. And unless they only installed, you know what? I think when you put the tanks on, you got to do it in 2 hits. The first hit is do not touch the fuel gauge. Only put the tanks on. Then do a refuel, because I reckon when you fill up and then ask for the tanks, it fills up your plane tanks, so like the inner and the outers. Then it puts the external tank on, but then doesn't fill it up.
Oh, I gotcha. Could you do the flaps for me? Thank you. Yeah, that kind of makes some sense, I suppose. Right, fasten seatbelts, but I'm trying to make a better landing than the previous ones.
Can't be any worse than the one I did earlier on. I was toying with doing a server restart.
Yeah. That was
Looks
better.
alright.
Do you want to do your server restart now? Well, when Nils is ready. Is it only the 3 of us?
Yeah. I think Mr. Ericsson was on earlier.
He was, yeah, that's right. I remember seeing his name there.
And obviously I still don't have my in-game radio copy, comms radio.
Got it back.
Say again?
I've got the comms menu back now.
No, I don't. Yeah, so what I was saying about that is when you've got EasyCom on, it uses a different radio button from when you don't have EasyComms switched on. And because the server has EasyComms off, you have to use the right push-to-talk at the right time. If you are using the EasyComms comms mapping, it only works when you're on the ground. It doesn't work in the air, which is why I thought my mapping was wrong. But it's not working in either case, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, did you want to restart the mission, the server now, or what?
Yes. Keep trying to talk whilst I'm doing other things, and of course it doesn't work. If I do it, there's the option of a mission restart or a complete server restart. Complete server restart might be more prudent. It will just take slightly longer to do.
Okay. Can you do all that from there, or are you talking about the server machine?
No, just the DCS server element. I can do it all through Discord.
Okay. So Laxor is going to do a complete server restart, just to tidy a few things up, hopefully. and then we'll get back, possibly do another mission like this where we go out and try and find Dave. And that's good because we're using radio, directional finding radio, to find Dave, who's asked to be picked up. Can't be, because it's going to restart anyway.
Right, for whatever reason, even though I said force the server restart, just put it on a 2-minute timer.
Oh, okay.
But it lets people come in and let them sort themselves out, so that's fine. And if anyone needs a drink, now's be a good time.
Yeah. Well, I can pick my jug up and have another little sup. There's no problem. We're not in a big hurry. It's relaxed fun, hopefully. So, for anyone not aware, we are currently testing the facility whereby Dave, who's lost his aircraft and he's on the ground and he's producing a radio signal, has asked to be picked up, and we are using, or rather Lexor, sitting in the back there, you can't see him but he's there. He's operating this directional finding loop aerial on these radios to locate where Dave is, to get a heading, and then he directs me. I fly where he says to fly, and we eventually find Dave. And Dave is in a nice bright red car, just to make it easier to see, because it's almost impossible to see some of these things. And as we fly over Dave, what should happen when we get there, we haven't seen it yet, but I think it is working, is that Dave then says, "Oh, you found me," and he fires off a load of different colour flares, just as a hello and an acknowledgement of our presence. We can't pick him up because we're in a mosquito, but he fires those flares just to acknowledge that we're there and we found him. Right, server restart in a minute. I'm just going to wait. Of course, we can't talk now. The only way Lexor can communicate with me at the moment is on a different system. He'll have to message me if necessary. I'll just wait for it. I'll wait for the server to come back on, and then we'll go back in again. It won't take that long. I'll just keep telling it to check. We've got roughly another hour of flying tonight if we stick by our time, which we're trying to. Our finish time is becoming like 2:30 in the morning. Once the server comes back up, I'll go back in and jump in another mosquito. Even if Lexor doesn't feel the need to do any further testing in the Mozzie to collect or to locate Dave, I can still fly on Mozzie, and I'll just load it up with rockets instead of tanks. I've been loading it up with additional like drop tanks because of the distances that we're flying on these missions, and therefore not had rockets, only bullets. Because the server, actually the machine for the server sits over my left shoulder, but Lexo has remote access to it so he can restart it. But I haven't got the screen turned on at the moment. The monitor's not turned on, so I can't actually see the progress, and it's easier just to sit here than try and swing around or get out the seat and get over and turn the monitor on. There we are, we're back. So once again, as I said, I'll jump in a Mozzie. And something I will point out is that although you'll hear on my stream, you'll hear Laxor's voice on the plane intercom, you'll hear it very loudly. There's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. So we're kind of stuck with that. You'll hear me normal, but he will be hearing me as we hear him. He'll be hearing me loud, almost at the point of distortion. That's something we're stuck with until they do something about it, but that'll be probably way down on a priority list. Is it possible for someone to ping me a message on the chat, because I'm not seeing any, and it says there's 0 viewers, whereas Restream tells me there's 4. I might turn the chat off and turn it back on again. And the chat is still telling me there's 0 viewers. It says I've got 2 on the other thing. It says I've got 2 on YouTube and 2 on Twitch. So I think the chat is not working for whatever reason. So if someone could drop me a message, that would be helpful. So Laxor is now in the aircraft with me. He's on that seat, although you can't see him. But he'll flap that back section of the seat back in a minute, and that will kind of evidence the fact that he's there. And he'll be operating these radios and that directional finding loop. And I am suspecting that my chat isn't working. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. It says I've got 0 years. I think chat's not working and I can't do anything about it. So if you want to say anything to me, unfortunately, I can't even hear it, read it, let alone respond to it.
Don't forget you might need to do a refuel.
Yes, well done. I had forgotten, so I'll do that now.
Request rearming.
Copy.
Request rearming.
Copy. Rearming complete.
Okay, well I'll just start. I'll turn the radio on, just in case anyone needs to contact us. In fact, I think I'm pretty much ready. I'm ready to start the engines, so let's do start the port engine.
Run the starter. Copy.
Okay, trims are set. I'll set my flaps ready for takeoff before I taxi. To about there. Guns are ready, no rockets. I've got tanks on. Okay, Lexia, are you good for taxi or are you still doing stuff?
Fine with mappings, 2 seconds.
Copy. I don't think we need the window open now. But if I didn't open the window to get armed and fueled, they won't do anything because they can't hear
A
me.
game of hide and seek? How
Right, we've now got
exciting!
Dave, who we're hopefully going to go and locate. We can't pick him up, not in a mosquito, but we can perhaps locate him. That's the idea. I don't know why why the chat isn't working. I'm sorry about this. Anyone on YouTube that has me, or rather, sorry, anyone on Facebook that's watching on YouTube and his friends, they could perhaps drop me a message, a PM, just to let me know that they can hear me, but they can't chat. Just awaiting Laxor to confirm ready to go. Very nice low pass, Huey. Who was it?
Joe, I think.
That's Air Joe. Yeah, that's Air Joe.
One, two, four, check.
Yeah, we copy.
Thanks.
That's Air Joe over there, I guess, is it, actually? There's not another one, is it? No. Okay, so that's Air Joe over to the northwest. Trims are set, flaps are set, altimeter is set, so we're just now really just waiting for Blackshaw to confirm that he's ready for taxi. He's doing stuff with the radio back there and working a few things out. He might be trying to have to map a few things, I'm not sure.
I've got that weird thing where I'm not hearing Dave anymore, but I know he's there.
Okay, what's the story now then? What do we do? Have you got information for us to take a course?
I don't know. If Undo can hear me, and you hear Dave.
So Undead's in another mosquito. And I think actually he beat us to target last time. He was up before
check.
we... Yeah, we copy. We copy.
124 check.
Only you can hear Undead if Undead is speaking. I can't hear.
I'm hearing Undead. I think Laxor is not hearing Undead. Undead, could you do another check, please?
No, I don't hear the radio. You do, I don't.
Oh, I thought you also heard the radio. Okay.
But ultimately, can Undead hear Dave?
So, I don't know if you got that, Undead, but can you hear Dave? No response. No response from Undead.
He might not have tuned in yet.
Okay, so am I holding still? Or shall I make my way to the end of the runway?
Yeah, do as you wish, I guess.
What you guess?
Do as you wish, I guess.
Okay, well I'll just taxi to the end of the runway and hold there. At least I'll be doing something for the viewers to see if they want to. Not that I've got that many, but I have got some. But for some reason my chat isn't working. It's not, if they are talking to me, I'm not seeing it in the chat, and the chat says there's no viewers. So I don't know what's going on there.
My restream says 0 views, but I know I've got a couple.
Are you getting messages through? Sorry, chat messages, I mean.
Yeah.
Is there anyone on Laxor's stream that could quickly hop onto mine and tell me, and then let Laxor know whether they can speak to me?
Laxer_Varasilicase. Twitch test.
Okay, thank you. So Twitch test works okay.
Laxer_Varasilicase. Tie test.
And YouTube's working okay, thank you. Thanks Laxor for that one. That's verified that the chat is working. It's just it's not giving me a count, and I know that that's notoriously inaccurate anyway.
Yeah, I think they've lost maybe an API connection that lets them query the view.
Okay, I won't pull onto runway in case someone wants to come in. I'll just hold until you're ready for me to go.
You might as well go in, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll only take a hit from a bomb or something and then...
Yeah, that's very possible. Okay, just doing a couple of final checks. Right, trims are done. Altimeter's done. Flaps are set for takeoff. I think that's probably good enough. Okay, commencing takeoff run. Okay. Gear coming up. Flaps up, please. Thank you. We'll make a turn and gain a bit of altitude over the airfield until we know what we're doing. Yeah, copy that, Joe.
Stitch underscore 945 underscore. Hello there.
Hello, Stitch. Got Laxor on board with me. He's sitting there invisibly, operating radios, and also he did put the flaps up for me. I'm just going to gain a bit of altitude over the airfield.
Underscore 945 underscore. The plane is pretty loud when compared to your voice, just for your info.
Well, okay, Stitch, thank you very much. I have adjusted things just recently, so I'll put it back. Hold on, can't do it yet. I was supposed to be gaining altitude, but I was actually diving to the buzz. I don't know, that's probably nearest down there. I'll see if I can make that adjustment now. Right, I've made a small adjustment. How does that feel?
945 underscore. You went to Buzzard.
Oh, that was you, was it, Stitch? Okay, I didn't look. It was you, was it, Stitch? Okay, I didn't look. Sorry. So Laxor is currently with me. I'm just waiting for him to let me know where to go. Let's check. Laxor, copy. Any idea where we want to go right now?
Not really, no. But this is like the other week where Undead was hearing the signal, but I'm not. In fact, it's just not being picked up by this aircraft. Like something isn't working or switched on, but everything is switched on.
I don't know what wouldn't be switched on.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't think things aren't switched on. I think everything is switched on, but something isn't working.
Yeah.
It might be a module thing, I don't know. But there are no errors in the log file.
Right. That's a bit frustrating, then, isn't it?
Yes and no. Oops. Yes and no, in as much as there's no errors, so I'm happy because it means I haven't made a mistake.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus. So well done on that. Stitch, did that? I dropped the desktop sound down a fraction. Did that do the trick, or is the background sound still too loud for the voice?
Stitch_945_. It's better yet.
Okay. The thing is, I want the engines to be heard. You know, I do want them to be heard. But obviously you've also got to be able to hear and understand what I'm saying. My mic volume is at max. Do you think I should bring the desktop sound a little bit more, or leave it where it is?
Stitch_945_. Maybe just a little bit more back.
Yeah, copy that, Stitch. Stand by and I'll do that. Okay, how's that, Stitch? Is that any better?
I mean, if I was to fly in the general direction of where he's going to be, then followed undead, basically. Because he might not be receiving what you're requesting, but he's clearly following a signal.
Okay, I've got to find undead.
Stitch_945_. Better yet.
Great stuff. Thanks, Stitch.
So turn north.
Blimey, it's miles away, isn't it, up north? Okay, let's pull round northward then. Okay, we've got a bit of a flight ahead of us. They might be in the vicinity now because he's about 500 feet now.
No, we tend to fly low around that way anyway because there's SAMs in the area.
Okay. Nils is at 23,000. I think they probably can't get him very easy up there. Not even with a SAM, can they?
I can't remember what the golden range is. I think about 6 to 12 is like the golden zone.
What, for hitting someone with a SAM or for avoiding them?
For getting hit by one.
They say he's at 23.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it means he won't get hit, but there's less chance, more chance of being able to evade it.
Yeah. Again, for anyone that might not have heard on my stream, Laxer is sitting in that seat, although you can't see him. He's operating the radio, but at the moment that's a bit unfortunate. Things aren't happening. Laxer is not able to hear Dave's transmission, so we can't really do what we're going to do. We're just going to fly where Undead has gone because we believe he probably was receiving a signal, so we're just going to be in the same area, that's all. Oh, we've got incoming missiles. Imagine there's Scud missiles incoming.
Yeah.
Okay, plenty of them. Wow. Well, actually, I mean, we're flying to where, towards where Undead is, but we can't actually do anything, can we?
If we manage to get there before he manages to find him specifically, then we can. Because it'll just be like a search party.
Okay.
Looks like we've got our own tail. We've got Mr. Ericsson and the Vigan.
Very nice.
I'm keeping an eye on. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Okay, so I was just spectating Undead. I'm just looking ahead, looking at Undead, but then zooming the camera out as far as I can to try and get a visual to make sure everything is still working okay. I was 100% confident this evening. Sometimes I was like, yeah, I think I'll be alright. But I was feeling pretty good this evening when I pushed the files up. Less so now.
Well, it might just be a case of respawning and trying again. That's why I was wondering, you know, we could spend this time going there, or we could respawn and try again and see if we get the signals at least.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, I was more concerned about sort of leaving you not doing anything.
No, I don't mind. I'll do whatever might be helpful. So, your call. We can follow undead, or we can respawn and see what happens. It's up to you. I'm happy either way.
Undead is, it's still got about 30 miles that he might need to cover. It's like it's up to the maximum range sort of thing. But
okay, I'm not sure what the answer was there. Aim for undead or respawn?
I don't know. Undead's just pulled the 180. So I mean, if you want to respawn, just so it's doing something that's not the same thing flying around in circles, then go for it. I don't really know what to do at the moment because I don't know what the state of the task is.
The thing is, we've got a very long journey ahead of us just to catch up with undead.
Yeah. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, do a respawn.
Yeah, I'll do a respawn. I'm not gonna make a fuss. I hate to just jump out, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna obviously go back and land. I'll just go for a respawn. So I'm gonna reslot now.
Okay.
Okay, so at least the viewers will get an idea of the startup if I haven't seen it already. Okay, I should get a request in a minute from Laxor to join
Stitch
this
_
aircraft.
945 _ I hoped you liked the buzz I gave you.
That was you. That was you, was it? Yeah, it was very good. I mean, it was like an aircraft and then it was a dot in front of me. Very nice. So I'll get on with starting the aircraft while we're waiting for Lexor to join. Actually, I need to get fuel as well, so I'll do that before I do much else. I'll need to do this twice to make sure the drop tanks get filled up.
Request refueling. Request
Copy.
rearming.
Copy.
And in the meantime, I'll carry on with getting ready to start. That's fuel going in.
Oh, you found me! Let's do that again sometime. That was fun.
Refueling complete.
Right, so the message you heard was, I guess, Undead actually found Dave, and that's what it was. Now, whether we got that last week, I can't remember. I didn't think we did, but maybe we did.
Arming complete.
Run the starter.
Why didn't he respond and say copy when I said that? This could be a duff spawn.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Right, so now I'm making sure that the tanks that I just had put on are going to get filled up. There's Laxor. I think that's probably Air Joe just went over.
Check.
Yeah, copy. I heard the announcement that Dave had been picked up, or you found me.
Yeah,
Refueling complete.
Very nice,
that was
Joe.
undead. That was undead that managed to locate Dave, so that was good.
Yeah, I tried to speak to Joe then, but of course I didn't have my radio on. Nice buzz, Joe. Thank you.
There's another one running. I need to sign, either you or I need to sign us into the game, so that's just doing the F10
Arming complete.
stuff.
Okay, hold on. F10. Find Dave. F10, find Dave.
Hi! I can't come to the phone right now.
3574.
because I'm playing hide and seek. Ask around for my frequency or check your messages.
Are you guys picking up Dave in the Monty?
After the beep.
Not picking up Dave, just locating.
That's right, yeah, we don't actually need to do, it's not a CSAR, it's just a hide and seek.
We're locating him by directional radio.
Yeah, and then flying low enough over him to be detected as a being we have found.
It's emergency landing, runway 26. They have only one flap working and one landing gear down. This might be rough.
Copy that, Joe. Good luck, mate.
Okay, this is transmitting over. There's nothing but static coming through.
Right, Joe was speaking a bit earlier, but I don't know if you would have heard him. I don't know. He wouldn't have heard you, would he?
No one will hear me, I hear no one.
Yeah, because I was explaining, because Joe actually asked if someone was doing a CSAR in a Mozzie, and I explained, that's what I was saying, and I explained that it was just like a locate. So you might have thought I was saying that to you, but unfortunately I've got the same button for speaking internally as I have for speaking on radio.
Right, gotcha, okay. Well, I can hear Dave this time, so...
Okay.
He's off to the right, so...
Yeah, copy that. Change channels on the radio for a moment so that I'm not talking to everyone, but also I can't hear them.
So around 70 degrees from our nose.
Copy that.
Run the starter.
Alright, I'd say all good to... sort of...
Yeah, I'm just about to wind up the port engine.
rearm if you want.
You can what?
I was going to say, I can run the rearm if you want, but I realise you've already done it.
Yeah, I did it twice. I went in there and got in. I don't know quite how it worked on the gauges, but anyway, the point is, I went in twice. I got my tanks on, got armed, got fueled, went in again, got fueled. So that should have sorted that.
Yeah, in theory it should be put tanks on and then so leave the fuel where it is and select the tanks and just let them put the tanks on and then go back in and do a fuel on the second one.
Yeah, yeah.
And they might have the drop on us, I don't know, it depends if he's doing, wait, what's happened there? Okay, it depends if he's able to sort out the radio whilst he's flying or not.
Yeah, copy that. I'm going to taxi to runway.
I'm going to flick over to the outer tanks. I don't know if you said it before, but it might have reset it.
Yeah, I can't see properly. Yeah, set to outer anyway.
No, it's set to main at the moment.
Okay, yeah, set to outer then.
Set. So pull onto runway and take off straight away, heading 70. Yeah, about.
Copy that. Okay, fasten your seatbelt.
Get rolling as soon as you can.
Copy that. Rolling. Oh, could you do the flaps for me?
Might want to put a shout on channel 1 or channel A just to air Joe his taxiing other end of the runway.
Hang on, got to do flaps. Echo 49 used to say Spitfire. 49 Mosquito about to take off.
Check. Oh, okay. I'm forgetting that the radio doesn't synchronise.
124.
Yeah, 124. We're taking off. I'm hearing you, Undead, but it's so faint that I can't tell what you're saying.
Yeah, he's a fair distance away.
That's 8. Gear going up.
Ready on flaps.
Flaps, please.
Flaps. Gear still down?
Yeah, hang on. I have to do gear up is a two button maneuver, and I only did the gear up. I didn't do the first button.
Right, I can influence gear if that helps at any point in the future, but
Yeah, copy that. Thank you. Yeah. No, all it is, I have to push one button on my stick and then slide another button back on my throttle. And I only did the slider. I didn't do the push button. The push button puts that little locking kit pin down.
Bill, can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you, Undead, but you're still quite faint. But try again. See if you need me to pass the message on.
Just want to say I found the frequency and then lost it, so I'm RTV to get a new plane.
Copy that, Undead. Thank you. I'll relay that. Yeah, Laxor. Undead found the signal but lost it, so he's RTV at the moment.
oh, well that's
I did. I heard you much better that time.
Yeah, it did sound better. Still faint, but better. Should I be seeing my needles yet, Axel?
seeing needles in what way?
Well, you know, the crosshairs, should they be deflecting? They're not at the moment.
They weren't because it was on low deflection. I just put it onto high deflection. They have deflected to the left for me. Left.
No, they're not working at all for me.
See. Okay, well, slow turn left.
Copy that. Carry on
Okay,
left. Probably spoke over. Say again.
Yeah, a little bit to the right now. Okay, straighten up. Because slightly off to the left again. No, it's not by very much. Okay, straighten up. Yeah, about there. Yeah, that's good.
When they're working, those needles are very helpful. Because I'm finding that out now because they're not working.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I wonder if I joined the aircraft after you turned the power on.
Yeah, you did. But really, I need to wait for you're in and you can put the power on, and that's the safe way of doing it.
Yeah. Still good on this course. Looks like heading 65? No, 45. No, 55.
Yeah, 55.
So it's looking good. So they'd had to go pretty much the entire range to get out
Right.
on that last one. So it's good. It's sort of, I think we do incredibly short range flights for the most part. It's nice to have a reason to go flying.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. We're still good for course?
Very slightly to the left. That's it, straight. Unfortunately, I can't move my head far enough left to look through the gun sight to give you a reference point if I ever see you.
Nah, that's no worries. As long as you're telling me which way to go, I'll just follow that.
We're rolling around to the left at the moment, yeah, so a little bit back towards the right. So, still fairly consistent on 55, actually.
Yeah. Do you want me to go low?
Still getting our distance at the moment. Might be worthwhile, just in case.
Copy that. I'll drop down to what? 500?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, you could take the view that you can stay high and just wait for the gauges to deflect completely, and then you know you're past him, and then you can drop down and come back from the opposite direction, but there's only passes you want to do, right?
Yeah, but that
Very
way
slightly off to
but you end up kind of flying in circles on that one, though, aren't you? Because you're obliged to fly in circles because you're kind of obliged to go past it.
yeah. So it's off to the left a little bit. Straight up. I was looking at the your trims. Do you have left stick trim?
I've left right aileron trim and right rudder trim.
Really? It's off to the point. It's pointing to the left for me.
What are you looking at?
Aileron trim.
Aileron trim. No, there must be a mismatch there because it's definitely like the first division, like 5 minutes if you like, 1 o'clock to the right of 12 o'clock.
Well, that's weird. It's completely the opposite position for me.
Ah.
Off to the
What was the thing? Off to the what?
left.
Undead coming into land, runway 26.
Copy, undead.
Slightly. Need to bank round very slightly to the left.
I'm happy to that. First time I've tried to land it, and it turned out pretty good.
So I've got to navigate. Literally. Sorry, off to the right. Straight. Okay. A little bit off to the left. Slow bank to the left. We might be getting close because it's sort of going a little bit left and righty.
Yep,
Straight up.
copy.
Straighten up. Okay.
You still good?
Off to the left very slightly, very slow bank. Straight up. I'm going to turn Dave up a little bit so we can hear him. Occasionally, as we get close to the transmission, clarity changes, and it sort of gives you a bit of an audio heads up.
Yeah, covered.
Off to the left, very small amount. Maybe not that loud. And Dave, 12 o'clock low.
Got him. Got Viz. I'll do a low pass over him and hope I don't hit the trees.
Well, if you come in at a slight angle, you'll be able to fly between the trees that are to the left.
Well, if I change that, that might be dodgy, so... Well, it didn't acknowledge.
He didn't acknowledge, so iRadars can, if we go around for a second pass and then slow down as much as we can.
Yeah. Got to find him again now.
Right side.
Say again.
Right side.
Your transmissions are clipping at the beginning and end.
That's odd because it's push to talk. Yeah, it's quite hard round to the right.
Have you got eyes?
No, I'm trying to reacquire. Straight. Nose down to the left a little. Nice deflection off to the left again. I've lost. Oh, there he is, just off our 9 o'clock. That's not where it was a second ago.
Okay, I'm just trying to eyeball the lay of the land to make it easier to get on. If that's
Well, that's
right.
totally flat. He wasn't he next to a tree a second ago?
He was in front of some trees, but I think we're just seeing it from a different angle. Can you put the full flaps down, please?
Flaps coming down.
No, it still hasn't acknowledged. Flaps up.
Have you got your marking buttons mapped? Because I don't have. Hang on. I wonder if I can set my marking buttons up. Hang on a second. If we just circle these trees.
And mine aren't mapped.
Right, I've got my targeting reticle.
Okay, I'll make another pass.
I just want to mark him. Negative. Yep, got him.
Dodge 1, tally over at all 0494230.
Okay, so that's Dave 1020.
I could land and taxi beside him maybe if the grass isn't too rough.
It might have got it. Oh no, it hasn't, sorry, I thought... Oddly, it's disappeared on the ground.
And I can't go much lower than that with any safety at all. I think I've lost him again. He was on the map, he's disappeared.
See? Yeah, that's what I thought, so I marked him.
Yeah, he's disappeared from the map and he's disappeared on the landscape. I think.
No, he's still transmitting, he's just off to our left. No, he's off to our right now.
Okay, I see him. Okay, can you give me full flaps?
Coming down. We might need to be low.
Well, I'll take the area
Bring
of
your flaps
this
up.
car if I go any lower. Yeah, flaps up please, yeah. Is that low enough? Lexor, copy. Radio check. Okay, folks, I'm gonna take a quick comfort break, and we'll see what happens after that. I'm waiting for Lexor to perhaps get in a vehicle to have radio, but I'm gonna take a very quick comfort break, and I'll be back in a few seconds.
124.
Yeah, copy. I stalled it then, so sorry about that.
That's alright, no worries.
I really feel that we must have got low enough. Flying any lower than that would have been dangerous, I think. I mean, it's dangerous enough as it was.
20 feet in the air. I think we could have easily gone lower from the perspective of like a helicopter. So if we were flying just above head height, it would have been workable. But even then, the radius is supposed to be like 70 feet, so we should have been well within.
I was definitely well within that.
It depends what altitude Undead was at when he triggered it earlier on and how low he got.
There's not a minimum, is there? Like you've got to be between a minimum of this from them and a maximum of that.
It's listed as simply a range between you and them, and if the range drops below a certain value, then you're considered within range.
Okay, well I really don't see that we weren't in range when we were that close.
But again, it depends how low Undead got.
Yeah.
I'll give an indication of what the range has actually been worked out as.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's gone 3 o'clock, so I suppose really we should call it there. Up tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, definitely. I might spend another half hour or so just trying to look at this, see if I can find out what's going on. And,
Okay. Alright then, well, good luck with that. And thanks for all your work on it as well, up to now. Because obviously there's a lot gone into that. Alright, catch you tomorrow night then.
it's okay, Casey.
Yeah, no, no, 2 Tiffin. And for anyone that's still there, thank you for being there. We'll be flying again tomorrow night, and hopefully see some people there as well. There's been a few people there tonight. Most didn't feel comfortable or have a need to put a message on the chat, which is a pity because it's always nice to have that. But nevertheless, it's just nice to know you're there. So take care, and hopefully catch you tomorrow night.